Thank you. New developments in a breaking story we have been following all week. Paul Van Dyne, accused of plotting to poison two women with highly toxic substances, including cyanide, appeared in court this afternoon. WMTV Shannon Najawan listened into the state's arguments and the commissioner's decision on a $10 million cash bond. Shana?
Van Dyne and his alleged accomplice Andrea Whitaker are accused of stockpiling dangerous chemicals and targeting two women Van Dyne used to date. Investigators say toxic materials were recovered from several locations tied to the suspects, including homes and vehicles, with help from local, state, and federal agencies. According to court testimony, substances were stored in capsules, vials, and beads, and were potent enough to hospitalize DCI agents. Prosecutors say Van Dyne continued trying to hide evidence even after his arrest.
What we're looking for in these searches are small amounts of poisons that can be hidden anywhere, up into someone's their pockets, in small vials, and they're continuing to find things. As you can see in the criminal complaint, even the search of Mr. Van Dyne's vehicle that's located down in Rock County contains extremely concerning substances, including the rosary piece.
The court granted the state's request for a $10 million cash bond, citing both public safety concerns and Van Dyne's access to resources. Live from the News Now desk, Shana Najawan, WMTV 15 News.
Shana, thank you. Van Dyne is back in Dane County Court on August 4th. This investigation began last month with the Middleton police investigating after a woman's car was broken into with cyanide and was found on her belongings. On Monday, Madison Fire, along with federal agencies, responded to West Skyline Drive for a hazardous materials investigation. On Tuesday, two other locations in Madison had similar investigations. We learned that all three locations were linked to a bigger investigation. On Wednesday, Whitaker appeared for her bond hearing, and we learned about the month-long investigation and that she was working with Van Dyne to poison his ex-girlfriends. Van Dyne and Whitaker will also go through the Rock County court system following Dane County. The suspects are accused of stalking and creating poisons to kill a second woman. The victim told Rock County officials that she casually dated Van Dyne 2 years ago. Rock County Sheriff Curtis Fell says victim was hospitalized and is currently in a wheelchair. Sheriff Fell says without medical intervention, she likely would have died.
Because of this, was affected pretty traumatically. Her system, they had to fly in an antidote out of California for the poison that was used for her.
Sheriff Fell says he expects they will be in Rock County Court possibly as early as next week. Plus, tonight on NBC's Nightly News with Tom Llamas, it will feature more information on this story and today's court appearances, and that's coming up at 5:30 right here on WMTV.